Tonalist. November 2015, this Big Bay Colt won his 4th grade 1 in the Cigar Mile. From the immediate family of Hob de Grace and Risk-Averse, he won the 146th Belmont Stakes. And at 4, he won the $1 Million Jockey Club Gold Cup for the 2nd year in a row. Posting 11 triple-digit buyers, this son of Tapit retired to stud with $3.6 million to his name. All this adds up to a world-class stallion at a world-class stallion farm.
Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Matt Bernie are taking a look at the Pegasus World Cup coming up a little bit more than a week. Our Pegasus World Cup coverage is presented by Lane's End. One of the major contenders in this race is the Mercurial Audible, trained by Todd Pletcher, winner of the Florida Derby over course and distance last year, good enough to finish 3rd in the Kentucky Derby. And then, Matt, he disappeared. He came back with a win on one of the Breeders' Cup undercard days. And then last time out in the Grade 3 Harlan's Holiday, on paper, it looked like he was going to had to fall down to lose. We turn to the stretch of the Harlan's Holiday. There he is on the far outside at odds of 1 to 10, and he just can't seal the deal, although I guess you can make excuses.
Can you? I guess.
Sure you can.
I mean, I've heard people bring up the idea that he didn't handle the racetrack and that the pace didn't work to his advantage and X, Y, and Z. If you're supposed to be a true contender for the Pegasus World Cup, no disrespect to the winning connection, but you got to beat Sir Anthony. Sir Anthony was a nice horse that lived in sort of the low 80 buyer range. You got to beat that horse if I'm going to look at you seriously for a race like the Pegasus World Cup. And again, the problem I have with the idea of the wet track, maybe he didn't handle it. He ran just fine in the Kentucky Derby over a sloppy sealed track. He ran just fine at Gulfstream last year. Look, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Todd Pletcher got this horse right and ended up winning this race. It's Pletcher at Gulfstream. But based on that race, there was no way that I could possibly pick this horse.
I think if you just strip out the names from the Harlan's Holiday and watch the race, and you look at the way the race unfolded, and it went 25 and 49. Audible is sitting near the back of the pack, and then he tries to come extremely wide, as we saw going into the turn, and he gets beaten a half length by a horse that had all the best of it shooting up the inside. You could say he did have excuses, but everything else you said is absolutely correct. I don't care how many excuses you're probably still supposed to win that race. He is making his 3rd start back for Pletcher over a surface that he likes. The question I have for you is, where is he going to be placed? He's pretty versatile from a running style standpoint. He was up close in the Holy Bull. He's come from far out of it in his races. Where do you think he's going to be? Because something tells me he might be near the back of the pack early.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like you look at his overall body of work, he really hasn't been too close to the pace since the Holy Bull. For the most part, he's been coming from a little bit farther back, and that's always been a little bit of a knock of mine, is that he's just kind of a grinder. He's not visually impressive, which is usually the opposite of the Pletcher runners. The Pletcher runners are all usually quite fast and impressive and flashy. This one, I think he's going to be coming from farther back, and I maintain the concern going into the Harlan's Holiday is the same concern I have now in this race. He has not run a race fast enough to win a race like the Pegasus. He's never earned a triple-digit buyer. If Accelerate shows up with his B race like he did in the Breeders' Cup, he's going to run a 105. Audible just needs to improve by leaps and bounds.
You're absolutely right about not being fast enough just yet. He's only one of 2 possible entrants as of right now, yet to buyer 100 on the scale. He does have 4 consecutive 99 buyers on his page. It's Audible going out for Todd Pletcher. Flavian Pratt takes the mount. He's going to have to improve off the local prep, the Harlan's Holiday.